Welcome to Moving Forward with my host,
Karen Casino.
And myself, Ryan White. With us today, we have Clark Evans. He is a wealth manager with Highline Wealth Partners, as well as Jason Sheinberg. He is an estate planning attorney with the Sheinberg Law Group. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
We have asked them to come in here today and give us their best ideas on what we should be doing for 2024. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, in the world, and thank you again, Ryan. Thank you, Karen. In the world of trusts and estates, there's a couple of things that I think people should keep in mind. One is to make sure that when setting up a living trust, that it's funded. Okay, I can't tell you how many times people will come to me and they've lost, a parent, both parents, and they have this beautifully drafted trust. Everything is done perfectly, and then we'll pull title for the property and the house isn't in the name of the trust. Or there's a bank account, an investment account at Schwab with $1 million in it that's not in the name of the trust. And so for an estate plan to be really done well and done right, all of the assets need to be titled in the name of the trust. And if they're not, then they're headed to probate court. So that's one really big thing. Fund the trust. I tell people all the time, this is a suitcase. This estate plan is a suitcase. Fill it up. If you don't put anything in the suitcase, you're going to get to your destination. It's not going to be good. So, and then the other thing that I tell people all the time is don't complicate your estate plan, okay? Don't make it too complicated. And so a lot of people have what we call AB trusts, and these AB trusts call for a mandatory division. And one great thing about an AB trust is that you can put together the marital exemption and give away a ton of assets tax-free. But a lot of times people overlook the fact that you can still give away almost $13 million tax-free per person, and you don't necessarily need to combine those with an AB trust. So having an AB trust is something that nowadays we try to avoid unless there's other reasons to do it other than tax reasons, because then when someone passes, you have to divide the trust in two and divide all the assets. It becomes very cumbersome and expensive and whatnot. So one, just make sure the trust is funded. Fill that suitcase. Two, don't overthink it. Don't complicate it. Don't tell your attorney you have to have an AB trust. Talk it through and then figure out, is this right for me?
And if you have an AB trust, is it time to convert?
Great question. So we have been converting a lot of AB trusts, okay? So if you're really not, if you don't have 10 or 20 million bucks laying around, then it's not necessary to have that AB trust. And so yes, converting it is a pretty good idea. I don't want to say that you have to. It does work for some people, and it still works just fine. This is a probate avoidance document, and that AB trust will avoid probate. It just causes some extra headaches at the first spouse's passing. So yes, convert it, but I don't want to make it sound like that's something that you have to do.
Some circumstances make sense.
Exactly.
And listen to your estate planning attorney. That's the other thing, is listen to them and get in contact with them every year or so, or every few years, right? Because you can have that set up and you give advice, and if they don't take it, then it doesn't help.
That's right. So I appreciate that. I like clients who listen.
Yes,
good.
yes.
We all do.
So Clark, 2023 has been an interesting year, right? Interest rates have been going up and up and up, and the real estate market was crazy, and now it's not. And there's a lot of questions, I think, out there of what's going to happen in 2024 and what should I be doing with my investments? Give us a couple things that you think everyone should know.
Well, thanks, Karen. Sadly, I think 2024 is probably going to be rockier. Largely driven by the fact that election years introduce an extra element of instability. So certainly while 2023 has been no picnic, at least the markets really don't like instability, and when there's the potential for an administration change and all those knock-on effects, that can get Wall Street pretty jittery. So I guess I'd start by saying, just prepare for potentially more bumps ahead. You know, right now, people are looking for clues from the Fed if we're done, if we're going to raise more, if we're going to start slowly tapering interest rates. And that's also going to have a lot of effects on the market. So there's a lot of moving pieces right now. So I think, you know, first thing would be prepared for potentially more bumps ahead. And then secondly, because so much of what we do is goals based, is I would have a conversation with yourself and your loved ones, you know, given that we know we're not out of the woods yet, what's next? You know, are we making sure that we've got all of our plans set aside for this college fund or for remodeling the kitchen, or, you know, this isn't money we're going to touch for 20 years, so we're going to put it over here. And just making sure that you've got your, you know, agreement between your family members and yourself about your plans. So along the lines of what Jason said, don't overthink it. You know, don't have to have all these different buckets of money and set aside, like, just, all right, I'm going to check off 3 things, 4 things. I've got my planning that's backed up by my conversations with my team, my wealth manager, my estate planner, my tax person, and then just know that, you know, you've done the best you could with your planning.
And is it okay for people to call you and ask stupid questions? I know that seems like because I think for people that don't know, when it gets scary like it's been in 2023 and 2024, we just don't know. And so do you welcome phone calls to
Sure.
say, I'm worried about not having this, or should I be doing this? Should I have more money in savings? Should I take them, you know, is the stock market going to crash? I mean, is it,
Absolutely.
do you
I'd
welcome phone calls like that from your clients?
Yeah, any question's a relevant question because it came from somewhere. So, and everybody's situation is unique. So it definitely warrants a deep dive into, like, all right, well, where did that thought come from? What can we do to address it? And if we need to reposition things, let's do that. Or if we just need to take a deep breath and a walk around the block, you know, let's do that too. Sometimes that happens. Like during the depths of COVID and, you know, the flash crash of 2018, there was a lot of instability in the market and people were nervous. And there were a few times my advice was turn off the TV, go for a walk, or pour yourself a drink. You know, like, this too shall pass, and it all did. So we have to sometimes just remind ourselves to check our emotions, and we'll all get through this together.
And it sounds like you're a good person to call and that you're calming
Sure.
during tumultuous times.
Call, text, email, telegram, carrier pigeons, smoke signals. We take them
A
all.
good quality for you to have
Yes.
in trying times.
We've been talking with Clark Evans. He is a wealth manager with Highline Wealth Partners, as well as Jason Sheinberg with the Sheinberg Law Group. He is an estate planning attorney. I want to thank you both for joining us here today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Until next time.